What's up, guys? JV2017 here, and I have my Rogue Archer guide to share with you guys. And this is my level 5 Archer. I, of course, kind of like my Mage. I don't have a high level Rogue right now, or Archer in that case. And I'm wearing Sir Isaac's armor, which I get from playing Dead Space 2, and my bow is the Adder of Antiva, which is a signature edition item. So you get it for free if you get the if you got the signature edition of this game. So we're gonna head on into the pause menu and look at our character. So as far as attributes, not gonna spend a long time on this. Basically, all of your stuff goes into dexterity and cunning. If you're playing on difficulties higher than normal, I would definitely invest some points into Constitution. But otherwise, honestly, guys, dexterity, cunning. Dexterity increases your critical strike chance, and cunning increases your critical damage. And it also, for rogues, for every 10 points, you increase the difficulty of the lock that you can unlock, if that makes sense. So, for example, master locks require 40 cunning, lots of cunning. And simple locks require like the simplest. All rogues can unlock simple locks, as far as I know. So let's get into the abilities. So as an archer, of course, we're going to go into the archery tree, and our first really staple ability is the pinning shot, and it causes 117 physical damage and has an 80% chance to pin enemies, which is very nice. And honestly, the damage part of this ability is kind of, the main part of it. The pinning is just I guess you could say a perk to the ability, but it only costs 20 stamina and has a nice, okay 20-second cooldown, which I think can be, yes, rapid pinning shot. It can be, upgraded to only a 15-second cooldown. So very nice. And we have Bursting Arrow next, which is kind of like a mid area of effect arrow, shrapnel, and flame blast. It only causes 49 fire damage, which of course is a lot less in comparison to the 117 of our pinning shot. But Bursting Arrow is a nice attack that, if you have like 3 enemies or 2 that are very close to each other, it's nice to get that 49 damage on each of them. And of course, that damage upgrades with level. All of the damage all the numbers I'll be talking about will upgrade probably. And now we have Hail of Arrows, which is basically an attack. All of these giant, like 10 meters is the size here, and all of these giant area of effect attacks should be really used at the beginning of the battle. That's how I like to use them, but that's my opinion. So costs 30 stamina and a long 30-second cooldown, but realistically you should probably be using this only once during battles, maybe long boss battles. You can use it twice if there's lots of adds with the boss. But now we have our fourth ability, which is the Archer's Lance, which causes, as you can tell, just as much physical damage as the pinning shot, but it can have a collateral, which means, of course, if you line up your enemies right, if there's 3 enemies in your shooting kind of line of sight, you can, get a collateral, like I said. 117 damage is a lot for like 3 or 4 guys. And the critical chance is 100% versus the first target you hit, which is what I think they mean by targeted enemy. But as you can tell, the stamina is pretty steep in comparison to pinning shot. It's 40 stamina and the cooldown's pretty long. And you can't upgrade that cooldown. So that's a very powerful ability for the archery rogue. So basically, dual weapons, obviously not our thing. Archery, our main tree. Sabotage, there's really nothing here that you need to invest points into. If you have the Black Emporium DLC, you can get rid of that miasmic or miasmic flask. It's really not that important in my opinion. A specialist tree, I think you can really overlook this tree. I have, let's see what I have, precision on here, but I don't think it's that essential, to be honest. If you have leftover points, maybe. Although, precision's a nice skill. But Scoundrel, we're really not looking into that. That's more of a I would say it's more of a, what do you call it, melee skill, in my opinion. You can put points into subterfuge. I don't really like being a sneaky archer rogue. I like being a badass, I'm not sneaky archer rogue. So there's definitely builds you can use subterfuge with an archery, but this is not one of them. So we have our 3 specialization uh, trees here. We have Shadow, Duelist, and Assassin. Of course, like I already explained, I'm not really into the Shadow, and Duelist really doesn't have anything to offer for our archers, but the Assassin tree is very nice for archers, and it, of course, works for archers as far as I know, and our first ability here is Mark of Death, and you mark your target, revealing weaknesses, and it lowers enemy resistance. It's just a really nice ability to start off a battle with, and your stamina is going to be increasing with your gear, and you'll have a lot of stamina, so it's nice to really use this right off the bat and then pop your hail of arrows if you want to. But next we have Bloodlust, which is a passive ability, which basically means it's just a permanent bonus and increases your stamina regeneration upon death. So when you kill someone, your stamina regenerates. This is very, very awesome, guys. It's very important that you pick up this skill in the Assassin's Tree. But next we have Pinpoint Strikes, which for 10 seconds increases your critical chance by 100%, guys. This is a crazy awesome skill, and it'll help you with bosses on the higher levels, on the higher difficulty levels, definitely towards the beginning of the game. Down here we have Assassinate, which kills a weak enemy outright, causes 313 damage, and 100% critical chance. This is basically the end-all, be-all, badass, mofo skill. I don't know. It's just the most powerful one-shot skill, I think, for an archery rogue. You can, dispute that if you know a different skill, but Devious Harm, another passive ability, increases your critical damage 1% per point of cunning. So this gives you more of an incentive to put points into cunning more than dexterity, and you may want to do this, to be honest, but you get this at level 12, so I wouldn't really be dumping all of your points into cunning until you get to level 12. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this guide. If you have any any tips for me or for people that are watching this, please comment below and help contribute to this guide. So of course you'll have points. You'll have plenty of points to upgrade your skills here of Mark of Doom for Mark of Death, and Annihilate and Overkill for Assassinate. And of course, for this build, let me just recap. We'll completely fill out the archery tree and completely fill out the assassin tree. So it's like an archery assassin. So thanks for watching, guys. This is JV2017, and I will talk to you later. Peace.